Hello, my name is Suyong Choi and I'm a vibration instructor. I will introduce you to Category 2. We have 4 levels in our training courses. Category 2 is a certification course for intermediate vibration technicians. Category 2 consists of 8 chapters. Now I will explain each chapter step by step. Chapter 1, Basic Vibration. Our main goal is machinery maintenance. Chapter 1 explains basic vibrations for machinery maintenance. For example, when you measure vibration, you can measure amplitude, frequency, and phase. At first, we measure amplitude to evaluate the machine condition and distinguish between good and bad machines. We can also use frequency to find out where the vibration problems are. Phase is helpful for repairing the machine. In this way, vibration analysis is very useful for machinery maintenance. Chapter 2, Data Acquisition. We learned the concept of maintenance using vibration in Chapter 1. So, how can we measure vibration in the field? Chapter 2 explains how to measure vibration in the field. First, you should clarify the purpose of measuring vibration and choose the proper measurement method based on your purpose. Depending on the machine type, you will select the vibration variables such as displacement, velocity, and acceleration. Next, you need to select the proper sensor. There are 3 types of sensors: proximity pulse, velocity transducer, and accelerometers. You can choose a sensor depending on the machine type and variables. Next, you need to check the sensor specification. Also, you should consider how to attach the sensor and select the sensor location. This method of measuring vibration is explained in detail in Chapter 2. Chapter 3, Signal Processing. Chapter 3 is about how to use FFT analyzer. Previously, we learned about concept of vibration and how to measure vibration. Now, it is time to analyze vibration. Before analyzing vibration, we must learn how to use the instrument for vibration analysis. This instrument is called FFT analyzer, and we must learn how to use the FFT analyzer. In order to understand how to use the FFT, we must understand signal processing. Chapter 3 explains the signal processing of FFT. First, we will learn how to set up the AD converter. The AD converter converts an analog signal into a digital signal. Since all FFTs are digital machines, we have to set up the AD converter first. Also, during the FFT process, the user selects a window. There are various windows, and we need to understand the characteristics of each window. Finally, averaging is performed. Many averaging methods are used depending on the purpose. Chapter 4. Fault analysis. Now we are ready to analyze a vibration. This chapter is about how to analyze machine vibrations in the field. Normal machines generate small vibrations and don't have many components in frequency spectrum. However, machine programs generate large vibrations and produce many frequency components. We analyze machine faults using the effective frequency spectrum. For example, this chapter explains how to analyze vibration problems such as unbalance, misalignment, and looseness, as well as bearing defect, gear defect, motor and pump problems. This chapter also explains the phenomenon of critical speed in rotating machinery. Chapter 5. Condition evaluation. Condition evaluation is performed based on the amplitude. A large amplitude means that the machine is in poor condition, and small amplitude means that the machine is good condition. Chapter 5 explains how to evaluate the machine condition based on the amplitude. This evaluation is mainly guided by standards. Typical standards include evaluations based on velocity or displacement. Chapter 6. Periodic monitoring. In factories, monitoring are needed to check whether the machines are running well or not. This chapter explains periodic monitoring procedures. The first step is to create a list of machines. Then you should classify the important and not important machines. Next, you should decide proper monitoring method for each category. In addition, you should decide the period of measurement and the baseline data, alarm level, and emergency trip, etc. Chapter 7. Vibration testing. There are various vibration testing methods. Among these methods, this chapter covers natural frequency test. To verify natural frequencies, impact test is performed on structures, and critical speed test is conducted on rotating machinery. This chapter explains the procedure for the impact test and the critical speed test and the precautions for these tests. Chapter 8. Balancing. This is the final chapter. Balancing is the most common method for reducing vibration in rotating machinery. There are imbalances somewhere in the rotating body. Balancing is the procedure of finding the location of this imbalance and attaching a correction weight on the opposite side. To do this, you need to measure the amplitude and phase. Then you will attach a travel weight and calculate the effect vector. Finally, we will find the original imbalance. Chapter 8 explains this procedure in detail. These 8 chapters explain how to monitor and diagnose machinery using vibration in detail. If you have any question about the condition monitoring and diagnosis using vibration, We look forward to seeing you in our training and studying together. Thank you so much.